And when you think about Christianity, Christianity is obsessed with sin. St. Augustine said that we all inherit the sin of Adam.
There's a question that has echoed through the ages, whispered in quiet doubts, shouted in fiery debates. It's the question that challenges the very character of God. If God is holy and pure, why does he allow sin and impurity to exist? If he's the creator, why let this chaos thrive? Some say Christianity is obsessed with sin. They say, why this endless focus? Why this constant battle? But what if the real question isn't about obsession at all? What if it's about understanding the nature of the battlefield? What if sin isn't just a moral failure, but a weapon wielded in a war far bigger than we've been told? This is not just a story of good versus evil. It's a war for territory, a war for your soul. Two sides, warring for the purity that defines the very essence of creation. On one side, God, the Holy One, the ultimate source of purity, holding together not just the universe but the very fabric of existence. And on the other,
this is my hour.
The adversary, the fallen one, whose goal is to corrupt, defile, and claim territory through sin and impurity.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Let's step deeper into the rabbit hole. To understand why sin exists, we must first understand what sin is. Sin isn't just a moral misstep or an ancient list of do's and don'ts. It's far more profound. Sin is any deviation from the order God originally designed, the code, the foundation upon which all creation rests. Imagine the universe as an intricate tapestry or a perfectly written program. Every thread, every line of code exists in harmony, working together to hold existence itself. But what happens when even a single line is corrupted? What happens when the order is compromised? The entire system falters. Sin is that corruption. It's the virus that spreads through God's creation, tearing at the fabric of purity itself. It defiles, it disrupts, it decays. And here's the terrifying truth. The defiled cannot coexist with the pure. It's not a question of choice, but of nature. Just as light cannot mingle with darkness, so sin cannot remain in the presence of God, who is ultimate holiness. But sin doesn't just harm creation, it's a weapon. The adversary, Satan, uses sin to claim territory one soul at a time. Wherever there is impurity, he gains a foothold. His strategy is simple, yet devastating. Spread corruption, distort God's design, and defile everything he touches. You've seen it, haven't you? The world around us, in chaos. The boundaries of creation twisted, what was once sacred now profaned. What was once male, female, life, marriage, purpose, now questioned, broken, redefined. This is not accidental, this is war. A war for the purity that determines whose side you're truly on. When Adam and Eve disobeyed God, they didn't just eat forbidden fruit, they chose a side, they defied the order and invited corruption into their hearts, their lives, their world. Sin entered, and with it, impurity, death, and separation. The adversary claimed his territory. Sin isn't just what we do, it's what we become when we deviate from the Creator's design. It defiles, it corrupts, it opens a door wide to the enemy's influence. The more impure you become, the more of yourself you surrender to darkness. But here's the good news. The reverse is also true. The purer you are, the closer you move to God's territory. And this brings us back to the core truth. God's holiness isn't just a quality, it's the very essence of what holds reality together. His purity isn't just a preference, it's a necessity. Without it, creation itself unravels. This is why the elders fall before his throne, casting down their crowns. This is why angels cry, "Holy, holy, holy," because they understand that his purity is what sustains everything. If God is holy and pure, why does he allow sin and impurity to exist? Why not simply destroy it all and make the world perfect? The answer lies in a profound truth Jesus shared in the parable of the wheat and the tares. A farmer sowed good seed in his field, but under the cover of night, an enemy sowed tares among the wheat. As the plants grew, the servants noticed the tares and asked the farmer if they should pull them out. The farmer replied, "No, lest in gathering the tares you root up the wheat along with them. Let both grow together until the harvest." This parable reveals God's purpose in allowing sin to persist for a time. You see, God's goal is not destruction, it's redemption. Uprooting sin prematurely would mean uprooting us, his children, who are still growing amidst the brokenness of this world. His patience is not passivity, it's mercy. Imagine a surgeon removing a tumor from the human body. If he were to act hastily, without precision, he could harm the very life he is trying to save. In the same way, God's restraint is not weakness, it is love and wisdom. Yet we must understand this. The harvest is coming. A day will arrive when God will separate the wheat from the tares, good from evil. On that day, sin and impurity will be destroyed completely. But until then, God waits, giving everyone the chance to turn to him, to become wheat rather than tare. This patience is not indefinite. The time will come when the judge of all the earth will make things right. But for now, his mercy holds the field together, allowing us to grow, to choose, and to change. So ask yourself, are you aligning with God's holiness, or are you allowing sin to take root in your life? The answer to this question determines not just your life here, but your eternity.